Hey, internet folks. How's it going? Good. Welcome to another episode of Awesome Craft Beer of BC. Today we are going to be looking at Fuggles and Warlock. What an amazing name for a brewery, right? This is their Agent Orange IPA. What an also wonderful name for a beer. I don't know if they know this. They probably know this, but Agent Orange was this horrible DDT chemical that the Americans dropped on Vietnam during the Vietnam War. It caused a lot of horrible mutations to the native people, and it's just an awful thing that happened. That was Agent Orange. This, however, is Agent Orange IPA. It is a Mandarin Orange IPA, unfiltered, so holding it up to the light right now, I see a lot of wacky bits floating around, which is wonderful. You always want some nice stuff floating around in your drink, like bubble tea. It's a strong beer, 5.8 ABV, oh yes, here, 60 IBU. Good stuff, good stuff. It's also considered a strong ale, and there's a bit of copy here. Agent Orange IPA. What happens when you combine a crisp, refreshing IPA with Mandarin Orange? Magic. Introducing Agent Orange IPA with fresh Mandarin Orange featuring Galaxy, Citra, and Cascade hops. Excellent. Fuggles and Warlock is located in Richmond, BC. Richmond is really not that far from Vancouver. There's a transit line. You could take it right out there. It's got a really big Hong Kong community, so I know a bit about Richmond. Don't go out there too much. Don't really want to. Fine place. Would go out there if someone invited me to Fuggles and Warlock. That's for sure. And they're known for just, like here it says, keeping beer weird. So I assume they have a lot of creative license to make their beer, which is wonderful. Enough of me. Here's the beer. This is Agent Orange IPA. Ooh. Yeah. Fair bit of carbonation. Very thick head of foam. It's not dispersing so fast either. It's just hanging in there. It's nice plume. It's kind of like a marshmallow. It's what it looks like right now. It's quite thick, few bubbles here and there, but very good. Now it's sort of happening. Very bubbly. It's a very nice colored beer. Can't really see through it. Nice, sort of a thick orange color is what I would call it. So it's orange. Agent Orange. Apt name. I get it now. Understand what they were talking about. So that's the appearance. Just trying to get rid of a bit of this head so I could actually... Yes. Good old IPA. I always say that IPA has a very distinguished smell. I think that's, aside from the hoppiness, I think that's one of the ways that you could best distinguish the style of an IPA. It's got that little extra hoppiness to it. It's delightful. I love it. Yeah, it is orangey. I'll give them that. It's orangey. Yeah, not getting too much more from it. Let's hop right into the flavor, shall we? Ooh. Ah. It's very strong on the hops. It's very strong on the hops near the end. Ooh. It's like an orange peel. It's like I just bit into an orange peel is what happened. Like I'm chewing on an orange peel. Yeah, it's a very bitter beer. It's a very bitter beer. It's not for the lighthearted, for sure. It's almost less of an orange. I get that orange beginning. It really has that orange rind kind of flavor to it. Or not so much the flavor, like the essence of this drink is like someone... It's not orange juice, let's just say that. There's a bit of sourness to it. I imagine it being somewhat like an unripe orange would taste something like that. Some sort of weird orange, orange lemon crossbreed, but it's not like a lemony sort of sour. It hits you right at the beginning, and then the bitterness. The finish is quite bitter as well. It's can't get over it. It is like an orange peel. Now that I'm smelling again, some of the hoppiness maybe after I taste it, but it smells a little more lighter now. It's not that hoppy as some other IPAs are. It's almost like a lagery kind of smell to it. Very light. It smells very crisp. It's like you're drinking it, and then there's this peak of sourness, and then it crescendos there, and then it drops into this valley of bitterness. If you love bitter beers, this is a good choice. I'm just not loving the orange is my deal right now. Yeah, I think that little sour kick and that it's so much orange in the bitter finish that it doesn't have that slight sweetness to balance it out, and it doesn't work completely for me right now. It hits too much with the sour, and it sustains too long with the bitter. Yeah, a good experimental beer. I don't dislike it. I think I went into it with a certain expectation, and it turned out much more experimental than I thought it would. When I hear that a brewery is doing experimental things, it could be really good or just like, all right, cool, that's okay. You know, it's like when the Flaming Lips release an album. Is it going to be one of the best albums ever? Or is it going to be this weird, obscure, like car stereo playing their music and them recording it kind of thing? You never really know until you actually sit down and taste it. Agent Orange IPA. It's good. If you like orange, if you like bitter beers, this is definitely the one for you. It's not my taste completely, but nothing really is these days. Either way, this is Fuggles and Warlock out of Richmond, British Columbia. If you ever get a chance to go to Richmond, British Columbia, I mean, if you fly into Vancouver, you land in Richmond. Just take a quick stop to the brewery. That's what I tell foreigners. Anyways, this is me, Fuggles and Warlock here. Enjoy the rest of your night. And if you like this real thorough walkthrough of beers and you want to see more, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll respond. I'll try to respond. There's really not that many comments right now for me not to respond. I'll respond. As long as you say something nice. If you're like trolling me, then I might just ignore you. Either way, I rambled. Have a good night.